Okay, we started the Monday after our last gig. We jumped in right away because we figured might as well get it out of the way. And, we were obviously a lot tighter than if we took a couple weeks off and partied it up every weekend,
Right.
So Ted suggested it, and we said, yeah, that's what we were going to ask you if we could do it right away, as opposed to waiting, because we're much tighter. We just played 10 months, Even if you're half asleep, there's something there. You're just tight without knowing it. And so we went in on that Monday.
So when was this then?
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, that's it.
2 weeks ago. And we went in Monday, rehearsed. Tuesday we rehearsed. Wednesday and Thursday we recorded. I guess about 4 or 5 songs. And then we took off because we had to write some more songs.
So you didn't have all the material written then?
No, not at all, actually. No. Well, that last thing that you heard with the poppy one, that one we just wrote like 3 days ago in the studio. I just had this riff. Actually, here's how it used to go. It's just totally different, And, well, we just cut the fat off, made it simpler, and everybody goes, hey, let's call it Dance the Night Away.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. It's a real Dance the Night Away.
There was a Cream song called Dance the Night Away. Did you know that on Disraeli Gears?
Yeah. How did that one go? I forgot.
Totally different. Dance the night away. It was a minor type of song.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody would ever think.
Well, I mean, it doesn't sound very original, but who cares? Might as well cash in on the dance, Everybody's going dance.
Did you think that the first album was going to do as well as it did?
Hell no. Who knows? The next one might bomb. No, I mean, I feel pretty good about the next one. The first one, I had no idea, Even though we took the same approach on this one, because I really feel a lot of people tend to write songs like I just said, with this song, an AM offering, but it really it wasn't planned that way, We didn't think pop, we didn't think AM song. It was just a riff that I had, and we put it to use, and we just wrote it the way it sounded. I mean, I can't help it if I come up with a poppy sounding riff, But we never have that. That's not our concept, We just do what we come up with, as opposed to forcing ourselves to write something commercial. It's like some of the stuff, like that other one. That probably never get in here. But that's what I really like. I get off on playing that stuff. I like the hard stuff. But it's also got, interesting changes to it, so it keeps it alive sounding. And it was actually exactly like the first record. We just sat up in the big room, wait to see. Neil came down and took pictures. Neil Stoll's out.
Sure.
Came down and took pictures of us in the studio, and that's how we recorded, man. Just I used almost everything I use on stage.
Really?
Only I used my old Marshalls as opposed to brand new ones that I use on stage. I don't like using the old ones on stage because I've lost them before. And they sound, to my ear, they sound so good. I put them in the closet when I'm done and leave them there.
Yeah. So then there wasn't a lot of overdubbing then?
Oh, not at all. There'll be 10 songs on the album. 3 of them have guitar overdub. The rest are live.
What's the album called?
Van Halen.
Is it? 2. Yeah.
I didn't say it. You said it. No, it's going to just have the logo on the front. And on top where it says Van Halen, like on that one, it'll say 2, Van Halen 2. Just so the audience or the people know that it's not the first one, it's the second one. Right. But we don't mean to bill it as Van Halen 2, like Queen 2. Or
Right. So then you didn't consciously go after the type of sound that you had in the first album because it was so successful? I mean, the band obviously has its own sound, but I mean, you didn't consciously try to write another Running with the Devil or...
No. I mean, you heard the tape.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound. The songs aren't all the same.
No.
No,
I just want to hear you say it. I know.
Oh yeah, it's not at all like that. Well, like the first album too, we didn't consciously write devil. It just came up, you know,
Mhm.
it's just written. It wasn't like, hey, we need a song with the bass going, you know. It's just the way it happened. And I'm real happy with this record because it still sounds like Van Halen, which is, you know, 3 instruments and voices with very few overdubs, very
Mhm.
live and sounding. Um,
You mentioned you
as
like
opposed
you.
to like other bands I've heard, without mentioning any names, you know, they do tend to try and redo their first album.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know, they go, oh wow, we hit it with that one. We got to follow the same format, which
Right.
we didn't do at all.
Right.
You know, when the record comes out, when it'll be all in sequence, you know, I bet you it won't be at all like the first one.
Mhm. Mhm. You mentioned outside that you really like the sound of this album.
Yeah, it's just much fuller. Mike, you know, used a much smaller amp, and for some, also Ted and Don, Ted Templeman's the producer, and Don Landy's the engineer. You know, I guess for the first record, they weren't quite sure of what we wanted, and
Mhm.
you know, they weren't too familiar with our sound. Now they are. So it's just, you know, I guess growing. You know,
Mhm.
we've both grown. We play better, we write better, and they in turn know how to bring the sound out better
Mhm.
for us.
Mhm.
You know.
Why don't you give me like a rundown of the songs, titles, and you know what was involved, what are they about, and things like that?
Um, God, I can't even
Can you
think of the
remember?
names of songs. I go out there and get the tape so I can
Could you do
get a
that?
feel for it.
Track one.
Well, see, this isn't the order at all.
Okay. Okay. Order
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Okay, the first song on this tape is Out of Love Again.
I
Which
love
is
again.